Hi. So I wanted to tell, I guess, a story about how I drove across the country by myself with my cat Charlie. This took place in 2017. I had just left a toxic relationship and I'm not gonna sit here and say it was all his fault because like it takes two to tango. You know what I mean? I did some bad things too. So, long story short, we broke up. I decided to drive across the country with my cat all by myself, and it was a long ride for sure. I had to drive for 30 hours. I'm not going to say from what state to where for my safety, but I do have family across the country. So the first night I actually stayed with my aunt and my uncle, and Charlie was doing very well. He is very outgoing and a chill cat, so he can pretty much handle a lot of things that come his way. And the first night he was doing really well. He was hanging out with my family, and it was nice to see my family after such a hard breakup. But yeah, it was from my first destination to my aunt and uncle's house. It was only 6 hours, so it wasn't that bad. Um, it wasn't that bad of a ride at all. I had all my stuff packed up in my car, and I had Charlie in his carrier, and I actually I I at the time I thought that I could like take him out like a dog and have him like use the bathroom. This is very naive of me, and I don't recommend that anybody do this because like you're in the middle of the country, like your cat could dart off at any moment and they could get lost. So this was a mistake that I made and that I don't want anybody else to make. So if you're driving across the country, don't do that. Don't make the same mistake I did. Luckily, everything was fine. Charlie was chill. He was just sniffing the grass and stuff. But yeah, don't do that. What I would recommend is you put the litter box in the car if they need to use the litter box. Um, anyway, so the first night I was with my family. The second night I went to visit my grandma for one day. I actually stayed there one day too. I think we went on the hike, like for one day. We went on a hike and then we went to like a barbecue thing. It's so hard to remember because it was a long time ago. 2017, that was like, what, like 7 years ago? It was a long time ago. Anyway, the night he was at my grandma's house, he was actually not doing that well. And I think it was a combination of a few things. I think it was a combination of him being in a new place and also my grandpa died there at my grandma's house. I think he could sense like his spirit. I know this video is so chaotic. But I do think that he could like sense his spirit and I do think yeah, I think he sensed his spirit. And just by the way he was acting, he was not acting like himself. He was acting like a little bit skittish, which is so not like him at all. He's very outgoing and friendly, and like even in the like even like the day before at my aunt's house, he was acting like completely normal. Even in a new environment, he was just being okay. Anyway, so we Charlie and I eventually left. We drove like 8 hours the first day, like finally across the country to my final destination, which was my parents' house. And the first night I stayed in a hotel, and Charlie was not doing well because I think he was missing my ex, and he was like yowling at the door, and it was. I didn't really get a lot of sleep that night because he was meowing a lot and he wasn't doing well, and I was glad I was there to comfort him. Um, it was not easy, but I comforted him. I gave him some treats. I even like played with him a little bit, but he wasn't really in the mood to play. Be like he just wanted to be, you know, with his person, but that wasn't gonna happen. So yeah. Anyway, so the next day we drove like 10 hours, I believe. I think it took me like 3 days to get to my destination. Um, Overall, the drive by myself was pretty hard, but I'm glad that I had Charlie with me. He was very good in the car. He was very good. He was chill. He didn't meow at all. I kept the music like low so it wouldn't scare him too much. I would take breaks for him to stretch his legs and walk around the car. I did not take him outside of the car in a harness again. That only happened one time. I learned from my mistake. I realized how like stupid it was to do that. So I'm glad I didn't do that again. So again, if you're driving across the country, don't do that. That's just dumb. If you have a dog, yeah, but if you have a cat, no, don't do that. Um, yeah, yeah. He is very chill in the car though, so I didn't have to worry about like giving him anti-anxiety medications or anything like that. Yeah, he was very chill. And then finally we got to our destination, which was our parents' house. And the first night he was there, he actually snuggled with my stepbrother like almost the whole night. Maybe not almost the whole night, but he did snuggle with him a bit because he's a snuggler. He loves to lay in bed and just hang out. It's like his favorite thing to do. He eventually did form a very strong bond with my stepdad. Um, but anyway, that's pretty much it for the drive. I mean, the drive was pretty uneventful. It the only thing, like I said twice now, is that I, took him out in the grass in the harness, and I really regret doing that. I wish I never did that. Nothing. Let me clarify. Nothing specifically happened that made it like so bad, but it was just the potential of something bad happening that could have happened that gave me the anxiety that, oh, like something could have happened, like he could have just like ran off and I didn't have like a good hold of the leash, you know. So anything could have happened, but luckily nothing did happen, and he was safe the whole time, and I did the best I could do. um I left that toxic relationship and I'm in a much better relationship now. But that's not really like the point of the video. But if you guys do want me to like explain that more, I can, but that's not really like my goal on YouTube or being on any like social media platform. My goal is just connect with people through my love with cats and to share my cats with the world and eventually, like adopt more maybe in the future, but that's not really like my goal right now. Anyway.